I hear it all the time. I don't want to make improvements. I don't want to live in a house that someone else has lived in. I get it. There's nothing like a new house. Now, over the past 2 years, buyer demand has been off the chain crazy. And the new construction offering was basically a take it or leave it situation. But that's no longer the case. Here in Florida, we've returned to a balanced market, which is welcome news. And great news if you're a buyer considering new construction. Currently, right now, believe it or not, it's the perfect time to buy new construction. Many builders are bending over backwards to sweeten the deal and to get you to buy one of their brand new homes. It's certainly possible to lower your cash out of pocket and get a better price right now. But is it right for you, and does it make sense right now? So I'm going to break down the pros and the cons. Cost of building versus buying. Now, a newly built home clearly offers some advantages over buying a resale. But let's talk about the cost of a home built from the ground up. Based on the labor and cost of materials, building new construction costs more than it did several years before. Now, in 2022, the median sale price of a home was $392,000 nationwide. However, experts say that new construction was running at $449,000 in 2022. These estimates include land, permitting, labor cost, cost of materials, and other associated costs with building new construction. However, very interesting other resources like Forbes basically said new construction was about $300,000 for the house itself plus the cost of land. But on its face, as it seems, new construction seems to be more than it would cost you to buy a resale, if we're comparing apples to apples. But you should ask yourself, while you're touring resale homes, as you walk through them, are you going to be happy with it? Are you going to have to make improvements? And what are those improvements going to cost you? I mean, it's one thing to change the paint, maybe some carpeting, but for gutting bathrooms and gutting kitchens, well, that's a total different story. You also have to take into consideration the energy efficiency of a new construction home versus an older home that's like 20 years old. Because while you're paying more for new construction, you will definitely have a lower electricity bill. Now, in today's environment, with the real estate market being as bizarre as it is, you may be asking yourself about the long-term value of a new construction home. And there's no simple answer for that. The value of a new construction home largely depends on when you sell it and how much in the way of upgrades that you put in when you purchased it, and of course, how much you paid for the lot. A brand new construction home is very likely to appreciate or at least hold its value, depending on how long you keep it. Obviously, the longer you keep it, the more the home will appreciate. Okay, so we've determined you're probably going to pay a little bit more for the house, but let's talk about some of the other benefits of new construction. Okay, low maintenance. New construction homes offer a significant financial advantage to you with lower maintenance. Everything's brand new. Everything's under warranty. Got new roof, all new appliances, particularly your air conditioner. No out-of-pocket expenses popping up out of nowhere. Another huge money saver with a new construction home is the cost of insurance. You will be able to obtain the cheapest insurance policy premium available with a new construction home. Move-in ready. Obviously, new construction offers a convenient, quick, easy move-in. High-rated energy-efficient homes. With modern construction and the integration of advanced technologies comes the added benefit of energy efficiency. With the latest advances in construction materials and building practices, you can expect a reduced monthly utility bill. Many new construction homes are certified by a third-party home energy rater, and this requires the home to meet certain energy standards and requirements. From the insulation in your walls and ceiling, helping reduce heat loss, or to keep the home cooler in the summer. Now, many of the new construction homes here in Florida have impact-rated windows, which is excellent. One, it offers convenience. You don't have to put shutters up. Two, protects you from hurricanes. But many people don't understand. It also helps with the insulation value of the home, and it's a safety feature. With a new construction home, obviously you're getting a great warranty. Now, some of these warranties for the first year is everything, like a bumper-to-bumper warranty. Then they go out anywhere between 3-4 years from inside the walls, like plumbing and electrical. The roofs often have anywhere between 10 and 50 years, depending on the builder. Modern floor plans. Many people love that open concept now. It makes the home feel bigger. With a new construction home, you can guarantee that you're going to have the latest and greatest designs out there. New construction homes are not dark or boxy, unlike many resales. Quite the contrary, a new construction home is light and airy and very welcoming the minute you walk in the door. A home designed to fit your style. A new construction home is a clean slate. If you've ever wanted to design the perfect oasis to live in, well, new construction is your opportunity. A new construction home gives you the opportunity to put your personal touch on the house without lifting a finger. A new community with top amenities. When you purchase a new construction home, you're not just buying a house, you're buying a community with the latest and greatest clubhouses, pools, fitness centers, walking trails, possibly a lifestyle director. Older construction or resale construction, builders didn't operate that way, unless of course you were buying in a country club. Now, country clubs typically have golf and a huge golf equity buy-in. But many of the new construction home amenity centers are very much like a country club, but without the country club price. Whether you're looking for a 55+ active resort style community or an all-age community, many of the contractors, builders these days, are putting in much better amenities for their residents. Okay, let's talk about the cons. I did promise you we would talk about the pros and the cons. Okay, obviously, as I mentioned before, the first thing is the cost. It will cost you more to buy new construction, obviously. You can't expect a home built today to cost the same as something built 20 years ago. Everything costs more now. So if you want the luxury of living in a brand new home, you're gonna pay more. Pretty much more for everything. Hidden costs. A lot of times there are hidden costs with new construction that most people don't think about. One, higher property taxes. I can guarantee you, if you buy a brand new home, your taxes are going to be considerably higher than a resale. So you have to prepare for that. Also, higher HOA fees. A lot of these newer communities will have higher HOA fees versus a resale. And also, while the builder is in control of the development, sometimes the HOA fees are a little lower. But once the residents take over, there's no guarantee that the HOA fee is going to stay the same. So you might be surprised with that. Also, with new construction, CDD fees. So many of the new construction developments, not only here in Florida, but across the nation, have a bond. Now here in Florida, that bond is in your tax bill, but it's still an extra fee. Many developers want to share the cost of the infrastructure. That is what a bond does. So rather than the builder having to foot the entire bill of the infrastructure, meaning fiber optics, plumbing, gas lines, roads, street lights, they take out a bond with the county, and that cost is shared with homeowners. So you'll have a little bit of a higher tax bill with the CDD fee. A lot of times, the locations of the neighborhoods are not necessarily ideal. Many of new construction developments may be further away from a major city. Here in Florida, they're further away from the beach or river because there's no land left by the beach or the river. By the way, that land is obscenely expensive, so builders go further west to offer a more affordable land offering, but you will have to drive longer to get to the beach or possibly longer to get to a city that you may frequent. Lot sizes, yeah, they're tiny. New construction developers are very stingy with the amount of land they give to a homeowner. They want to put as many houses as possible in a community so they can make the most profit. So you will be forfeiting land around your home. Many older neighborhoods, the lot sizes were bigger. Even if it was a 0 lot line community, they at least gave you like a third of an acre, 0.3 or even 0.25. Now these new construction neighborhoods are at 0.20. So really gotta like your neighbors. With a new construction home, there are some additional upfront costs you will incur. For instance, window treatments. Window treatments are subjective. You could go ultra cheap and put up some, metal mini blinds, which I would not suggest, but you could put up plantation shutters. Outfitting your entire house with beautiful plantation shutters could cost you $15,000, $16,000, $17,000. Really just depends on the size of your home and how many windows you have, but it is an additional cost. Also, I mentioned before, the lots are tight, so you may want to include some additional landscaping. Builders are going to give you a limited landscape package. It's pretty skinny, okay? So if you want that nice, lush yard, which a resale would offer you because the landscaping's been there for years, the trees are big, they're bellowing, you've got lots of shade, you're not going to get that in a new construction neighborhood. You're going to have to create that on your own, which takes time and money. You'll have to pay for the landscaping materials and wait for them to grow. If you want instant shade, obviously putting in a full-size tree is going to get quite costly. Delays and changes. Yep, with new construction, I'll tell you 110% of the time, you're going to have delays and possibly changes. Now with the supply chain issues that we've had, quite often materials aren't available and they can be substituted. So if you had your heart set on this beautiful porcelain tile that you just fell in love with when you were in the design center, there's always the possibility if that tile is unavailable that it will be changed out for something else. The builder has the right to substitute materials. They're not going to wait and delay the closing of your home by 2 or 3 months because a tile is on back order or has been discontinued. So, as I mentioned, they can substitute materials. That's in your purchase agreement. So let's talk about that too. The purchase agreement you're signing with a construction company is not a standard real estate purchase agreement. It's a builder's contract and it's postured to protect the builder. So all of the language within that contract is to the builder's advantage. You're going to be forced to close when they say you need to close. Otherwise, there's normally an interest penalty in a contract like that. Also, if materials aren't available, they have a right to substitute those materials. So before you sign, make sure you understand what you're signing because a builder will not change the language in his contract. If you want their product, you have to agree to their terms. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, interest rates. Gotta love Jerome Powell. He's constantly increasing the Fed funds rate, which means the consumer rates are also rising. With a new construction home, if you're building, you can't lock in your rate. So if rates continue to go up, there's always the possibility you're going to pay an even higher interest rate if your home isn't ready for another year. On a resale, however, you know what your closing date is. You sign the contract, you close within 30, 45 days, you're able to lock an interest rate in, and there's no worry. Now, many of the builders are trying to combat that, I might add, offering closing costs, the ability for you to buy your rate down. They're throwing some money around, so there is a little bit of a silver lining with that. But you need to be cognizant that today's rate is not necessarily the rate you will pay when that house is finished. You know, whether you're buying an existing home or a new construction home, it's always advisable for you to find a very good realtor that'll help you understand all the ins and outs of the purchase. They'll help you ask the right questions when you're in a new construction site. An experienced realtor will also know all of the available neighborhoods in the area so you can make the right decision for you. So if you're interested in new construction, possibly here in the Treasure Coast, at the end of this video, I'll put up some new neighborhoods for you to look at.